Yesterday would have been Charlie Kirk's 32nd birthday. It still doesn't seem real that he was taken from us by an assassin's bullet in Utah just over a month ago. And now there's nothing we wouldn't do to bring him back. But what we can do is continue to honor his legacy. And wow, what a powerful example we had yesterday of how he lived his incredible life. I mean, his wife, Erica Kirk, standing up there in the Rose Garden. I don't know where she gets her superhuman strength from. You know, it was much as when I saw her in Arizona last month, like nonstop tears, but a strength that got her through it. And she wrote that speech herself. I'll get to it one second. President Trump standing up in the Rose Garden, a beautiful Rose Garden, by the way. The roses are nowhere to be found, but the garden's now been paved over. It's got like a patio floor on it, and it's a beautiful, absolutely stunning gathering space now for ceremonies like this one. And President Trump made beautiful use of it. It was one of these mornings and afternoons, I guess I should say, where the sun was rising. You know, we saw the president standing in front of us, and just behind him was, I think it was the old executive office building behind him with the three flags, the two a little lower, one a little higher above him. And the sun was starting to come down in the sky just beyond him. So those of us who were in the audience had the sun on our faces, and it was maybe 70 degrees. It was warm. It was beautiful. We originally were scheduled to be inside, but the president moved it outside. It ended up being such a beautiful day, and President Trump wanted to show off the newly revamped Rose Garden. It was his idea. And there was just something, I don't know, ethereal about it, with the sunlight on us and the warmth hitting our faces as the president talked about Charlie. The president was in a good mood. You know, he'd been on a whirlwind tour the past 48 hours prior to that. The Babylon Bee did one of its funny cartoons saying, press asks president to call a lid after 96 hours straight of following him. That's about right. Call a lid when they can close up shop and they know the president's not doing any other events for the day. I mean, Egypt and Israel, the Israeli parliament, like President Trump was everywhere and did some really important things while over there, and then hightailed it out of the Middle East, as he said to us yesterday, missing what he said, something to the effect of would have been some very powerful meetings with some very rich countries who really wanted FaceTime with him. But the answer was no, because he needed to get home to honor his friend Charlie Kirk, awarding him the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is the highest civilian honor any American can receive. Trump was looking at the good weather and said what I said, you know, that originally they thought it would be inside, but they moved it outside. And as the sun was on our faces, he said, God was watching. Like God wanted to give us this gift. Trump was in rare form. You know, he was laughing, he was smiling. He paid perfect homage to Charlie. He made a joke at one point about fighting crime in D.C., and then sirens went off nearby, you know, police sirens, and he said, that's a beautiful sound. That's a beautiful sound. That's them fighting crime. That's what you want to hear. It's beautiful. The only people to speak were Trump, a serviceman who read the actual resolution giving Charlie the medal, and Charlie's now widow, still getting used to that word, Erica Kirk, who accepted the award on his behalf. I don't think his team would mind me telling you that somebody on the team took a shot at writing a speech for her, and she said, I can't do it. I've got to write it myself. It doesn't sound like me. I've got to say what's in my heart. And she wrote that speech. It's amazing when you hear her talk. It's almost like one of Charlie's colleagues said this to me when I went out there to host his show, that they were feeling comfort in being around Erica because it was like being around Charlie. And I have to say, I totally get it. Spending time with her or even watching her speak, it does give you, she's not the same as Charlie. Their style is different, but the messaging is really spot on. She was completely together. She was the picture of class and strength and resilience, but she was once again nonstop in tears, and she made it through. Here's a bit of what she said.
The very existence of the Presidential Medal of Freedom reminds us that The national interest of the United States has always been freedom. Our founders etched it into the preamble of our Constitution, and those words are not relics on parchment. They are a living covenant. The blessings of liberty are not man's invention. They are God's endowment. Charlie lived for those blessings, not as abstract words, but as sacred promises. Honestly, President Trump, I have spent 7.5 years trying to find the perfect birthday gift for Charlie. Now I can say with confidence, Mr. President, that you have given him the best birthday gift he could ever have.
Obviously, it was bittersweet. You know, I remember in the first term, Trump awarded this same medal to Rush Limbaugh, and he did it at the State of the Union. Do you guys remember that? And Rush was suffering with terminal cancer at the time, and he knew his life was coming to an end on this side. And it was great that Rush got to receive that honor and, you know, just be recognized for a lifetime of contributions that were really meaningful. I mean, Rush Limbaugh changed conservatism, fundamentally changed the way we talk about issues as conservatives in this country. He was the godfather, the OG, in showing people how it was done. He was a huge influence over Charlie Kirk, too. Huge influence. This kid growing up in Illinois said he listened to Rush all the time, that he would sneak out in the middle of class, like or in the middle of the day when other kids might be taking a break or, you know, kicking the soccer ball around, what have you. Charlie was listening to Rush Limbaugh. And Charlie, you know, of course, didn't receive this honor while still alive. We all thought there'd be time. Everyone thought Charlie would have time to run for and become and be president. I mean, literally everybody I've spoken to believed that would happen. And then you get your honors late in life, generally. You know, that's just generally how it works. Rush Limbaugh, God love him and rest him, died older. And it's not, he died too soon. He was too young for us, but he had lived his full life and Charlie hadn't. So, you know, the award amazingly was appropriate. Like, Charlie earned it. You think of all Charlie did in his 13 years of Turning Point, and good gracious, did he earn it? But it wasn't given to him until he was gone. And so there was something bittersweet about it because Erica, of course, had to accept it for him. She reminded everyone, of course, that Charlie lived by his Christian beliefs, that he was committed, notwithstanding what President Trump had said moments earlier. Because Trump said, I know, you know, Erica suggested that he would pray for his enemies and he loved his enemies. And Trump was like, I'm not so sure that's true. I spent some time with Charlie. And then in a very funny moment, Trump again joked that doesn't come as easily for him. Here's a bit. This is Erica speaking about Charlie in response, and Trump's in the background.
Surprisingly enough, he did pray for his enemies, which is very hard, but he did. He did. He did.
Trump throws his hands up. He's smiling.
No one else, I mean, I saw him do it. No, he never did it in front of anyone else, but I can attest to that. But he also loved people when it was inconvenient.
I love when Trump gets the big smile. You know, he doesn't give us the huge smile that often. But that's him being self-deprecating, you know, laughing that, you know, I saw what I saw. Erica's seen what she's seen. But he's being gracious. You know, she's kind of saying, no, I swear he really did pray for his enemies. And Trump's kind of like, did he? It was sweet. President Trump was so good to Erica. He went to her, he walked her out. He stood with her. He stood behind her the whole time. I mean, you know, not for nothing, but Trump's 79 years old. And as I said, is just coming off this whirlwind tour of the Middle East, not to mention what happened the week prior. I mean, he's been working on this nonstop. And he stood there the whole time. I was thinking to myself, is there any way President Biden would have been standing here for the full remarks of Erica Kirk? I mean, his own remarks went on for nearly 45 minutes, I'd say. He did the weave. And then Erica stood there the whole time. And then when she was done speaking, and we had the service person read the actual proclamation, stood there, and then Trump went over and stood right in front of her and was comforting her as Amazing Grace was played, among other songs. He paid homage to Charlie's parents who were there. They too were stoic. You could see the grief on their face, but they were stoic and held it together. To their credit, I don't know how they're functioning. And Trump gave a lot of himself. Just making it back and standing there in front of them it was his way of honoring Charlie. It was his way of saying, this person mattered to me. And Trump takes a lot of guff for not being the kind of griever or mourner in chief or, emoter that many people want him to be. He doesn't have empathy in the same way most people have it, in a way that you would recognize it instantly, but he does have it. This has actually been a lifelong question of mine since I've known Trump. Does he have empathy? And now, having studied Trump for many years and known him for many years, he does have empathy. Absolutely, he does. He just doesn't show it in the same way as the rest of us. He's extremely strong emotionally, extremely. And this is him showing it. The fact that he made it back, the fact that he escorted her out, the fact that he stood there, the fact that he went back over to her, the fact that he stood with the family after the ceremony for Amazing Grace and spent time with him immediately after the ceremony as well. That is his empathy. The fact that we were there in this ceremony honoring Charlie, that's Trump's empathy. That's him expressing his love and care and admiration for a young man who truly changed the country. He also declared yesterday National Day of Remembrance for Charlie Kirk. It was Charlie's 32nd birthday, with a proclamation reading, quote, on the American people to assemble on this day in their respective places of worship, there to pay homage to Charlie's memory. Now, every major network took the event live yesterday. I mean, it was an event. It was a thing. And it was Charlie's murder was something that, of course, captured the attention of the world, except one, MSNBC, which apparently thought its viewers wanted to hear Nicole Wallace jabber on instead of witness a historic event. For the listening audience, we're showing the screen grabs from literally every channel. They all have President Trump in the background in a lower third that's appropriate, and then there's one in the middle with Nicole Wallace. Just her mug on camera, spitting out a bunch of bullshit, as she always does on MSNBC. So that's what you got there. The refusal to even acknowledge Charlie, because they couldn't have President Trump's words about Charlie and what he actually did and who he actually was, or Erica Kirk's words about her husband and what he stood for. They couldn't have that heard by the MSNBC audience, you see, because they're all part of the Nicole Hannah Jones pack of lies. It's important to them to continue misleading some faction of the left into thinking Charlie was the devil incarnate. So they really can't have you looking at Erica Kirk. They really can't have you seeing a charming, empathetic, loving Donald Trump honor his friend. It's a hard no. There was nothing offensive. They couldn't get out of it on their bullshit. Oh, he tells lies, so we have to cut away. You know, they've been pulling that nonsense since January 6th. No, there was no excuse not to show it other than their own inhumanity and refusal to show truth to their audience. It would put the lie to everything they've been saying about Charlie and Turning Point for that matter. Buy gold and get free silver. That's right. For every $5,000 purchased from Birch Gold Group this month in advance of Veterans Day, they're going to send you a free patriotic silver round that commemorates the Gadsden and American flags. Look, gold is up over 40% since the beginning of this year, and Birch Gold can help you own it by converting an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold. Plus, they will send you free silver honoring our veterans on qualifying purchases. And if you are current or former military, Birch Gold has a special offer just for you. They are waiving custodial fees for the first year on investments of any amount. With an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and tens of thousands of happy customers, consider diversifying your savings into gold. Just text MK to the number 989898 for a free info kit and to claim your eligibility for free silver with qualifying purchase before the end of the month. Okay, before the end of the month. Again, text MK to the number 989898. Message and data rates may apply. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.